Peace and blessings, everyone. I'm Bree.
And I'm Lisa.
And you're watching the Ask Bree and Lisa TV.
For another episode of Caffeine and Cash Flow.
Haha, back at it again.
We're back.
All right. So I know you missed us, but that's all right. We'll get to the hugs later. Lisa, you want to go ahead and start us off? Tell everybody why we're here today. Who are we talking to today?
All right. So today we are talking to you. But what I mean by you is we are talking to the wellness coaches, the health coaches, and even the truck drivers.
Right. And some people might think, okay, wellness coach, check. Health coach, check. They're in the same category. Why truck drivers?
Right. Because millennial entrepreneurs in general, right? So the truck drivers, coaches, fitness instructors, all of those encompass you being an entrepreneur. You're your own boss. You're making your own hours. Nobody's telling you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it.
Okay. Who exactly can relate to a truck driver?
You.
You're right. Yeah. So like Lisa said, we are talking to the entrepreneurs, the business owners, small, big, medium business owners. If you were born in the late 80s, 90s, you grew up in the 90s, you're anything like us, you're a millennial by, definition. And you're working a business, you're doing everything you can to stay out and away from the 9-to-5 grind. We're talking to you, and specifically because you're young, you're driven, you're motivated, and you're doing all the things. You're doing all the things to work hard, save up your money. And the reason you're doing that, we're assuming, is because you don't want to work forever.
We don't want to work forever.
We definitely don't. We've seen people work the 9-to-5 grind up until the ages of 70 and 80 because they didn't plan for their future on a financial tip properly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're not looking to work long term. Us specifically are looking to be done by in the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
We're looking to, have the business working for us. So we would assume from relating, right, that you guys absolutely feel the same way. Right. So we wanted to go into a little bit about what vehicle we're using and actually want to ask you a question. So for a moment, just sit and just think, right? For a moment, as a millennial entrepreneur, you're on your own, you're doing your own thing, right? You don't have a 401k unless it's from an old employer. But if you're doing your own thing, you don't have a 401k that you're contributing to, right? So what vehicles are you using to invest in for the long term?
Okay.
What vehicles?
Yeah. So in terms of financial vehicles, there's plenty out there, I know some business owners, they use a high yield savings account, which is great, by the way, averaging no less than 4% in interest rate, right? Some people are using Roth IRAs, which for, they have their own strengths as well. But there's limitations to some vehicles like that as well. If you're earning a certain amount, what is it, 140, 160? $160,000. If you're making $160,000 a year, you can no longer contribute to a Roth IRA. Also,
and you can only put in $7,000 for the year. For the whole year, you can only put max $7,000. So not only are you restricted by how much money you can make, but you're also restricted on how much money you can invest into the Roth. And what I would say about the high yielding savings account is that's also great, but it doesn't necessarily keep up with inflation.
Yeah, it barely keeps up with inflation. Inflation is going up in 4%, even though it's steady. It can be steady, especially a high yielding savings account doing 4, maybe 4.5. It has its perks, but the reason we're the reason we're talking about these things today is because we really want to get into something that I wish I would have known about when I was truck driving, because for a couple of reasons. If I would have known about what we're going to talk about today, if I would have known about it as a truck driver, I was younger. So the cost of insurance would have been a lot cheaper. Plus, while I was truck driving, I had no bills compared to now. I had no bills. I had no debts. So I saved a lot of money, given that I was making, I don't know, I was making maybe $6,000, give or take, $6,000 a month, and a lot of that was just being saved. I would have front loaded and I would have overfunded the strategy we're talking about today. What is the strategy we're talking about today?
So we are going to talk about an indexed universal life strategy. So a tax efficient savings strategy.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, some of you that's been here, you've heard us talk about an IUL before, Index Universal Life Insurance Policy. But, you know, without getting too much into details about it today, at least, we want to just let you know the overview of an IUL. So basically an IUL, it comes with, first and foremost, it comes with a life insurance component. So you get that protection. So
which that protection also would, as an entrepreneur, right? You're your own business owner, the coach, the wellness, the fitness, all of that, the truck driver, you're your own boss. So you may or may not be, you know, either contributing and helping to the household, or you may even be the breadwinner. So what happens if something were to happen to you? Do you have that covered? The IUL would be able to help with that as far as provide the protection for lifetime protection.
Right. And it's permanent life insurance. It's not life insurance that you're renting, like, you know, insurance at your job from your employer, which as an entrepreneur, you probably don't have.
Right.
But yeah, it comes with that life insurance component. The next thing that it comes with, and one of the best things, best features about it, is the cash value component.
Right.
The cash value component is awesome when it comes to an IUL because it's linked to the performance of a stock market index. So, you know, like the S&P or the NASDAQ. So it's linked to the performance of a stock market index. But the thing about it is you're safe from any risk, any market loss, any market volatility. You're safe from that. Unlike a 401k, which
or even a Roth.
You're liable to lose money if and when the stock market goes down.
Right. So the amount of growth, the compound growth, the compound interest that you can get is a wonderful thing when it comes to the IUL. And it's a great way to save for the long run. It's a great way to save for the long run. And you can max fund it. You can put as much as you possibly can into this IUL to make sure that you live the life that you want to live. Live your best life, right? The IUL will be able to help with that as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. You know, this is the best option. We wish that we would have known about this when we were younger, like Bree mentioned, right? But this is something that we're using. As entrepreneurs, we don't have an employer. There is no, 401k. And now with what I know now, and again, we can get into those details later. What I know now about the 401k, I wouldn't even contribute to that anyways.
Right.
But so we don't have that, right? And again, the Roth is very restricted. So the Roth isn't something that we're interested in personally. We're not saying to not, but maybe the Roth you shouldn't put your eggs all in one basket, right?
Yeah.
So definitely diversify. And so we wish we would have known about this younger, because then we would have been, we would have been a lot further. But better late than never.
Definitely.
And as entrepreneurs, this is definitely our bread and butter.
Right. So basically, for an entrepreneur, a properly structured, max funded IUL can really set the tone for a healthy retirement plan. And in terms of being properly structured, not all IULs are the same. Not all carriers that offer IULs are the same, and everyone has their own unique financial needs, goals, risk tolerance, and aspirations, and long term visions. Everyone has their own unique things, but it really does come down to, the flexibility in an IUL. So as an entrepreneur, your income can fluctuate. Truck driver, when it comes to truck driving, I know personally, if you don't have the miles, if your wheels aren't turning, then you're not earning. So if you don't have the miles, or you don't have a load to pick up, you can lose out on money. You can lose out on time on the road. Same with any other, small business owner. If your income, fluctuates and it goes down, you see a low month, you see a low 2 months, a slow quarter, because of the flexibility that the IUL has to offer, you can adjust the amount in premium that you pay per month. So that flexibility comes in hand when you really need, to adjust your funds.
And not only will it be able to help for like long-term retirement, and the flexibility is absolutely great, but as a maybe yoga instructor or a personal trainer or a truck driver, but you can use this to not only supplement, but you can use this for other things as well. Maybe you want to look into investing into something, you can use that as well. And we are actually going to, in the next couple of episodes, so you guys got to tune in, we are going to get a little bit more detailed as far as how this can relate to you as far as a wellness coach, a health coach, or a truck driver. We're going to be going into greater detail on how that IUL can really work for you and how you can utilize it.
Yeah. So basically, outside of, the flexibility, outside of the life insurance protection component, outside of, the cash value component that's growing when you overfund that type of strategy, you're able to borrow. And by borrow, I use that term loosely, but you can take money from that cash value component of your policy and use it for certain things. That's exactly what you were meaning.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. That's what we'll get into more details later.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. But generally, you can use funds from that cash value component to, like you said, supplement your income and do a number of other things. Especially as entrepreneurs.
Right. So, I mean, that's pretty much, what we wanted to get on here and like really talk to you guys about. We just wanted to give you that general overview, right? And we wanted to really let you guys know that within the next couple of episodes, we are going to be talking to you. So if we hit those hot buttons like retirement or savings, maybe you're even trying to break those generational curses, right? Our parents and our parents' parents, they just worked, and their idea of retirement is not the idea that we have for retirement as millennials, right? I know I'm trying to travel the world, right?
Right.
So, and it's not what did you say? It's not just like pulling up a rocking chair in your front yard and just
smoking a pipe of tobacco and rocking and talking about the good old days.
Right.
That's not retirement.
That's not retirement. Nowadays, that's not how we see it. So we're going to be able to get into more detail on how it can work for each one of you as a wellness coach, as a fitness coach, as, life coach, truck driver. We're going to talk about how we can help you really make the IUL work for you.
Yeah. So we can wrap it up there. That's because we have so much that we can really dive into on this topic.
Yeah.
And me being a ex truck driver, I have so many points that I want to hit on because I really want to, for lack of better words, I want to poke the bear. I want to poke the bear because truck drivers, they make a lot of money, and I come from that industry. Truck drivers are not educated or informed by the companies they work for, the companies that pay them. They're not really informed on what to do with that money. And when you're young, you're in your 20s, and you get behind the wheel of a semi truck, and you start making money, more money than you've ever made. Right. And all you're doing is driving around the country, exploring the country, seeing the country. You're having fun. It would have been so nice personally to just know what to do, because I really wanted to know what to do with this money.
I remember.
So I have we have so many points to hit on. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned to the Ask Brie and Lisa TV. Please subscribe. If we hit on anything for you today, subscribe, share, comment, like. We love to hear from you. We're just gonna keep dropping these jewels as much as we can, and just sharing our story and sharing our journey through working the 9-to-5 grind and coming to where we are now as business owners.
And again, if we hit those hot points, again, savings, where to put it, growth, being able to supplement, all of those things, as well as hitting those hot points of you being a coach or a truck driver, definitely stay tuned. So not only just like and comment and share, but stay tuned for the next couple of episodes, because we are going to be talking to specifically you about how we can help you. And then I want to leave it with this, right? I want to ask that question again. Remember the question that I asked earlier? What are you using? Really take the time and the moment to think, like, are you using anything to save for the long run, to be able to supplement from, aside from an emergency savings? Because everybody should be having that, right? What are you using? How are you saving for the future? What does that look like for you? So just food for thought.
Yeah. We'll leave you with that. So, again, you have been tuning in to the Ask Brie and Lisa TV for
another episode of Caffeine and Cash Flow.
Yeah, you guys have a great one. Stay blessed, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah.
Peace.